next guest is Dr. Masudi Shuhud. Dr. Masudi Shuhud has a very impressive bio. He's General Secretary of the Central Board of Nahdlatul Ulama. Probably I don't pronounce it very well, but just bear with me. Indonesia, largest Muslim organization with membership numbering more than 50 million. Could you imagine? More than 50 million. You know, that's 3 times as many people live in my country. We only have 15 million, and he has 50. He's chairman of the Central Board of Cooperation. He's president director of Darul Ukhma Islamic College Jakarta and the Islamic College Bekasi. He's a lecturer at Azhar University and Trisakti University in Jakarta. Will we join in welcoming our speaker? Could I invite you here? Or you could go on that side if it's more convenient. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Blessing and peace of Allah be with you all. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in amma ba'du. Ulama anal kiram wa habaiban al afadil masyaikhina wa bil khusus sahibul fadilah, our excellency the Honorable Dr. Yoon Jin Moon with his beautiful wife and family, the Honorable Dr. Edva Latam, and also the Honorable our grandmother, Tan Sri Datin Paduka Sari Hajah Saleha, and also our grandfather, Dr. Chandaria, with his family. The President of GPF, Dr. James Flynn. Happy audience, ladies and gentlemen, and all the participants. I am greatly honored to speak in front of you all today on the important topic of peace, living in a harmony among us. With all of you who come from all over the world to Malaysia today. It is the universal virtues and principles which all religions share that should be supplemented and instilled in the mind and behaviors as a common heritage of humanity. Through a thorough dialogue among religions and cultures, on the basis of universal values and principle of love, mahabbah, brotherhood, al-ukhwah, toleran, tasamuh, mutual respect, solidarity, and justice, al-adalah. Our holy book Quran says, "Washawirhum fil amri, فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُتَوَكِّلِينَ. And consult them in the affair. Then when you have taken a decision from this meeting, put your trust in Allah. Certainly, Allah loves those who put their trust in Him. My brothers and sisters, in fact, constructive cooperation and actual dialogue among civilization and cultures should not be conceived of without the principle of cultural diversity being firmly established. Therefore, there is no alternative but dialogue for the preservation of cultural diversity and cultural plurality, and human beings all have to determine all living together with a free will, regardless of their different belief. Quran says, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dzakari wa untha, wa ja'alnakum syu'uban wa qabaila lita'arafu. O mankind, we have created you from a male and female, and made you into nation and tribe, different nation, different tribe, different languages, different religion, that you may know one another. As Islam is divine path and embodies a human way of life, Muslims are confident that since culture is the expression of the genius of people, there is no justification for conceiving of culture as being either sublime or mean and lowly. Each culture has its own genius and is distinctly prolific and enlightened. My homeland Indonesia, which is the motto in Sanskrit word Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, taken as the topic of Global Peace Convention today. Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, it means unity and diversity, is an archipelago in Southeast Asia consisting of 17,000 islands, many islands, and the sea, and 248 million people make it the fourth most populous nation in the world after China, India, and the United States. And also at least 300 different ethnic and 737 local languages. 12.9% of total Muslim population in the world stay in Indonesia. Also, we have significant minorities, Protestant, Roman Catholic, Hindu, Buddhist, and other indigenous faiths. I think it is not easy to manage these differences if we don't trust each other. Considering this diversity, our organization Nahdlatul Ulama has a particular responsibility to be an agent of peace, to seek accommodation through the tenet of our faith that emphasize tolerance and respect for others. Nahdlatul Ulama and you, not 50 million our members, but 70 million members, maybe will be more from the population of Malaysia, has a singular rule to push tolerance and respect, not just as an abstract principle, but as an ethic that can take root in the heart of Indonesian people. Talking about the Indonesia, now Indonesia economic development today, as Roel Oberman, McKinsey Global Institute, MGI director, reported, Indonesia economy today is the 16th largest in the world, has strongly over the past decade, so Indonesia has had the lowest volatility in economic growth among advanced economy in the Organization Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, or the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, plus South Africa. Indonesia today has 45 million members of consuming class, 53% of population in cities, producing 74% of GDP, 55 million skilled workers in the Indonesian economy, with 0.5 trillion US dollars market opportunity in the consumer services, agriculture and fisheries, resources and education. So far, McKinsey predict on 2030, Indonesia is the 7th largest economy in the world, after China, the United States, India, Japan, Brazil, and Russia, overtaking Germany and United Kingdom. And I believe it will never and never happen in Indonesia if we cannot live in a harmony among others. If we cannot trust to the leaders, if the people do not trust to the leaders, if we cannot trust to the other religions. Sometimes we talk about this because sometimes people in its different religion, tribe, and nation will be no problem with their different opinion. People will be no problem with their different opinion. But it will become a problem if they have different position and earn. Moreover, if they want to take a political position, but it just happened in Indonesia, I do not know in your country. Therefore, I encourage the following should be emphasized. 1, religion, culture, and civilizational diversity is a grace bestowed from our God. And as a Muslim, we are taking on a humanistic mission toward laying down the basis of international peace and we ought to lend support to the universal civilization for the benefit of the whole humanity. So, each religion and culture has its own value and enjoy a special status. None can deny the contribution of each religion and culture to the enrichment of the universal culture heritage. In fact, each culture has to be concerned with striving to bridge the gap of misapprehension among civilization. 3, using the moral values of the different cultures in drawing up and working out a global system of ethics and recognizing the diverse sources of knowledge and cultural diversity as a basic characteristic of human society and as an asset indispensable to the progress of humanity. 4, that the values of plurality and cultural diversity are not a justification to exclude to the other. On the contrary, the opportunities and possibilities offered by globalization should be exploited to further solidarity, exchange, and coexistence between people. And 5, respecting the religious right and holy book and text, written and oral. Once more, respecting the religious right and holy book and text, written and oral of people or a nation, as they constitute foundation of different religions and faith, and respecting also mankind, unity, and cultural differences. And the last, we should remember to talk this to our children and our young generation. The last message: don't stop building peace until we have rest in peace. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.